Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark here, the CEO and founder of Influence Builder, and we are here this week for Micro Your Business Virtual Summit. And this is going to be a panel of the leading founders and co-founders of some of the most innovative technology and systems out there for the entrepreneur, small business owner, and solopreneur. So I'm really excited that you guys are joining us this week. I will be hosting this event, and I also have a couple of episodes with a co host, Kelly Tenney from Teacher Brilliance, where we are going to talk about how to micro that learning curve when it comes to entrepreneurship and how to build your business. So, these guys are going to give you some shortcuts. So, without further ado, we have our next speaker up. Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark here from Influence Builder, and we are at the Micro Your Business Virtual Summit. And I have Chris Baden here from FlowChat. Oh my gosh, poor Chris. I've just been chatting his ear off. Oh, luckily it's been two ways for the most part. But I'm really excited to have him because he has, and of course, and you have a business partner too, and I'll let you introduce him as well. But FlowChat, how long have you guys been open for? Not long, right, Chris?
April 2021 was our first full month of sales. So I kind of
Wow.
focus on that month. Yeah.
Wow. So a little over a year, right?
Yep.
Um, that's
About a
great.
year and a
And
half at this point. Yep.
about a year and a half, but I mean, kind of just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, how have I not heard of this? And then I saw it and I was like, oh, I must play. Now I must play with this. And so, and I think that was the first time I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm so jumping in all on this, and it's been great. So I'm really excited to have you here, and I just want to kind of start off with asking you this one question, and I know the answer to it, but everybody else doesn't. When did you start being an entrepreneur?
It snuck up on me, Danielle.
Did it?
I didn't see it coming. In fact,
Yeah.
if someone told me like 10, like it's been 13, almost 14 years ago,
Yeah.
what entrepreneurship was going to be like, I probably would not have signed up, just to be honest. I got
Good
this
answer.
great idea. You know what? Don't work for somebody else for 40 hours. You should work for yourself for 80 hours. And then maybe things might work and it's going to be this crazy path. But at this point, I've embraced it. I
Yep.
realize that there's other crazy people like me
Mhm.
that think this way. And I don't see another path for myself. So this is how it snuck up on me, solving problems for myself first.
Yep.
I just had a couple. I was like, man, like, this isn't quite fit. This doesn't quite work. So I started like figuring out like what would work for me. And
Yeah.
then others started asking me, like, well, wait, like that was really cool. Like, how'd you do that? And I was like, oh, I don't know, kind of like this. They're like, oh my God, like that works really great.
Yeah.
And that might seem oversimplified, but I think like as business owners, look, I've got three kids, 6, 4, and 2 at this point.
Yeah.
And so active household.
Hmm.
And my two older boys and youngest is a girl, but she doesn't have her own business yet. She's 2. But my two older boys, they have their own business. They make $30 a month,
Hmm.
and they've had a couple of them, but there's one that they like more now.
Yeah.
And teaching them the language and the
Hmm.
skill set of sales, of marketing. I look at it like this: 3 things:
Hmm.
listening, practicing empathy, and creatively solving problems. You got to listen to the market. We got, it's the whole 2 ears, one mouth thing. So very, very, very powerful. People overlook that. Okay.
Hmm.
So some people, here's one specific example. Let me share this with you. People look at me cross-eyed when I was doing market research for FlowChat with,
Hmm.
I'm one co-founder, CEO of FlowChat, software tool,
Hmm.
and there's 2 other co-founders, and we have a team of over 30 people now. Like
Hmm.
it's amazing because of the amazing people that are part of the project
Hmm.
and people like yourself and the FlowChat fam.
Hmm.
The great entrepreneurs that are, it's like, oh, we're all crazy. We're not alone in this thing, and we can share
I
what's
feel.
working and grow together. It's really powerful. But
Yep.
listening, the reason it's been growing so fast is
Hmm.
because this isn't our first rodeo, and we have a formula for how we launch businesses. There's a reason they do 7 figures consistently in any industry in the first year,
Yeah.
every single time from organic growth. Like
Yeah.
over 40% of our sales is all like word of mouth and referral.
Yep.
Like, how do you guys do it? Well, at this point, we've done it like 4 or 5 times for ourselves, that alone hundreds of other businesses. Here's
Yeah.
what we do: we listen. Well, what's
Hmm.
listening, Chris? We fielded over 1,000 one-on-one Zoom calls
Hmm.
with our market.
Hmm.
That was just me in about a 7-month period. Sean one of the other co-founders, did the same thing.
Hmm.
When you start doing the real work, you remove all the guesswork.
Yeah.
So when some people are like, oh my gosh, it's like you're reading my mind. It's like, well, I mean, kind of. I mean, I've the breakthrough and the epiphany for us in our businesses, a lot
Yeah.
of times it's like the temptation of when the pressure mounts up, it's like we got to retreat and
Uh-huh.
run away from everything. It's like we're going to lock ourselves in a room and just work harder and like work our way out of it. And the
Hmm.
idea is it's going to magically hit. The
Yeah.
answer and breakthrough is actually not in our heads. It's in the mind of the market.
Yeah.
And if you don't go ask them
Hmm.
and just a honest, legitimate way, like I'm here to serve, like, hey, where do you get stuck on this? I kind of get stuck here, where do you get stuck? And then they
Yeah.
tell you, and then you go to the next person, do the same thing, and then you do that at least
Hmm.
100 times. I prefer at least 1,000 or more. Man,
Hmm.
you really start to see some strong patterns, and you get to be able to speak from a different place of
Yeah.
authority. um but if your intention
Yeah.
is to render a valuable and quality service to the market, then you're
Yeah.
you're going to pay the price in
Yeah.
terms of time, focus, research, and when it's not just getting somebody a result and serving them, it's getting
Uh-huh.
them a result in a certain period of time. You got to
Right.
do it quickly, and that's where the mastery kicks in. And
Yeah.
I'm not Danielle. This would be so much easier if I was smart and talented. No, I'm not LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan. I don't know why we're in basketball so heavy right now.
Yeah.
But
That
now they're
works.
hard workers. They've done, really
Hmm.
well, expanded beyond basketball.
Hmm.
Massive respect and credit to them.
Yeah.
Also, Shaquille O'Neal was 7 foot by the time he was 14. So there was a couple things, drill sergeant dad. There's a couple physiological things like,
Yeah.
listen, I was 144 pounds when I graduated high school. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be an NBA player. Anyway, so
Be a
those are a
better
couple
chance of
thoughts.
being you'd be a better chance of being the basketball in an NBA game than you would a player, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
goodness. Okay, so you talked about this, and you're right. You do pay the price up front for quality. You just do, but it's an upfront. That's the best piece because once you get it and once you start building, then it just kind of rolls. And I think you guys are rolling, and I know you guys are always playing and doing more cool things, and which
Yeah,
I'm super happy because then I get to play more too. But like really, you guys are microing the
one hundred
sales
percent,
pipeline. You guys totally are. And
one hundred
I
percent.
know it seems counterintuitive when people first hear it or they first enter in like, "Oh, we're doing a lot of this manually." And there's a reason why. And I'm going to yes, take over cuz I want to hear how you're
Well,
microing
on
in
the
that.
on the micro part, where's the micro
Yeah.
part? To be really specific, Flowchat is a sales tool,
Yeah.
and helps with the sales process. Really simply
Yes.
put, here's where we micro or we focus.
Yep.
It's organic social media outreach. That's where
Yes.
we focus in, right? So we notice this pattern with direct messages,
Mhm.
and there's a plethora of example of how not to do it, which makes it so fun to play in because it makes
Yeah.
it insanely easy to stand out in a good
Yes.
way, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so here's more so what I mean. We had our own high ticket mastermind. This is a couple of years ago that we were selling. We're like, how do we sell this? We need a
Mhm.
sales process for this product or service. It was
Mhm.
$25,000 for the mastermind. It is no
Mhm.
longer available. But we had open it 3 times a year and bring on 15 to 20 businesses on at a time. And we would
Mhm.
focus on sales processes, more general, not as
Mhm.
micro yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
In fielding and going through this process with hundreds of businesses, we found even a more micro area. We're like, man, look at this pattern with direct messages.
Yeah.
We're now booking qualified calls between 40 to $70 per qualified call
Yeah.
with a LTV, lifetime value customer of,
Mhm.
5,000, 10,000, 20,000 plus. That
Yeah.
equation is like crazy profit. Usually you're spending 2 to 5,000 just to acquire a buying customer, right?
Yep.
So, but organic outreach on social media. Why is this happening, Daniel? Why is this happening? Well, here we just look at the numbers. You do the
Mhm.
real work. There's no guesswork. Here
Mhm.
are the numbers. Open rates and
Mhm.
click through rates are higher on direct messages than anything else,
Mhm.
except for maybe SMS,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
here's the fun. Let's compare. So let's compare SMS and DMs for a second. My
Yeah.
Vanna White hand display. This is video, right?
Oh
Not
yeah.
just audio.
Yes. No, you're good.
Okay. All
No,
right.
no, we're a
All
video.
right.
People
So
can
they
see
so they
you.
can see Bob Ross
They can see
and the
Bob.
whole situation. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Bob
Um,
Ross and we have a lion in the background. It's actually it plays well. It plays really well.
it makes
You didn't even
perfect
try. You
sense.
didn't even
Yeah.
try to. I know.
So we have SMS and we have DMs. Now, I love all forms of communication that
Mhm.
earn attention, build know, like, and trust
Yep.
with quality people. Like I
Right.
have zero bias, do all that work. I'm more of an and thinker, right?
Yep.
But I'm in this micro niche of direct message and really doubling down there. And here's why we did it. When you get a cold SMS,
Yeah.
or even maybe somebody opts in, but how many times do people opt into something? Or you, any, not you, Danielle? I know I do this. Like anyone
Yeah.
listening, watching this, how many times you opt into something you don't remember, and then you get the message, you're like, "What the heck is this?" Like, stop sending me messages because you don't even
Yep.
remember the thing that you did.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that, right? Point is this: whether it's cold or actually not cold, people are like, "How'd you get my number?"
Yeah.
But on DM, what do? We just go to the
Right.
profile.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know who
oh,
this is. Well, let me go see. On social, you can see.
yes.
And if you set up your profile properly, you're like, people can be, oh, he's a family man like me, or
Yeah.
oh, he's into sports like I am, or oh, whatever the common ground is. It's a
Yep.
human, and like, oh, here's some of their content. Oh, there's their website. I'm just gonna opt into this because now I'm into the rabbit trail.
Yeah.
So it ends up being marketing. DMs not only have very competitive open rate, click through rate as SMS, but they also have the marketing component where
Right.
it can warm it up for you.
Right.
Oh, there's so much leverage there. So
Yeah.
we saw this pattern. We're like, shoot, like we wrote over 100 grand in 40 days before we even built our mastermind. And we're like,
Yeah.
well, we can't. I mean, should we do paid ads? Should we do a summit? Should we do challenges? Should we do a podcast? We're like, well, we should probably just keep doing more of what's working. Like, we would
Yeah.
be crazy not to do this. So we started building a spreadsheet
Yes.
and manually did it. And then we hired some VAs. And then we're like, oh my gosh, this is a headache. And then
Yep.
then we started looking for software and we couldn't find something that
Mhm.
did the whole process and solved the whole problem
Mhm.
for one platform, that alone, all of the social platforms. Like, I don't want to buy new tools for every single social media platform,
Yep.
Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, at least, right? We still got
Yep.
TikTok and Telegram and Discord. There's some, anyway. So with these four major ones, we'll call it.
Mhm.
So we started developing.
Yep.
Funny enough, most people don't know this, Danielle. You know how we found, because there's three partners,
Yeah.
myself and Sean,
Mhm.
and his wife Mel. We've been business
Yep.
partners for 7 years,
Mhm.
right? We met because I don't know how to code anything. We built and sold our first software company a few years ago.
Mhm.
And if you would have told me that I was going to be a tech founder once, let alone twice, I'd be like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Starts with solving problems, starts with
Yes.
listening. This is what
Yep.
people wanted. Practicing empathy. I understand, a lot of most of the dynamics of how they feel because I am living that life still to this day.
Yep.
Empathy, creatively solving problems. Well, how would I do it for myself? And how do I share this with others at scale?
Mhm.
But that's kind of the formula, the pattern that I follow. And we met our developer because we don't know how to code through cold outreach and DM.
Nice.
The way FlowChat came to be was from FlowChat happening.
It's a good story. That's a good
So it's a
story.
real story. He's from
Yeah.
Lithuania. I only know one person in Lithuania, and it's
Yeah.
Bruno. And
Yeah.
we apparently don't talk about Bruno. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's like overdone joke at this point, but
He's the
it,
first Bruno I've met in person, though. I've heard a lot of Bruno conversations, but he's the first one I met in person.
people go the
So,
most recent like Disney movie. I'm blanking on what it is. My kid's probably seen it 100 times, but
I
Encanto.
can't. Encanto. Yep.
Yeah, but I like who Sasha Cohen, like the other like Bruno. Didn't he come up with like a character or a movie?
Oh,
Ali
that's
G, and
right. He did do
it's
one,
like
didn't
way
he?
more inappropriate.
Yeah.
That guy is crazy. Anyway,
We stick with the
so
cartoon one, don't we, Miss Parents?
yeah. Well, at this point, it's basically just cartoons in our house. So,
Yep. Yep.
all this being said, we met him. Look, if you go to my Facebook profile, what you'll see is a really important life changing line
Yeah.
right on my banner.
Yeah.
It says, "To accomplish something greater than yourself, it takes more than yourself."
Yep.
It's a very oh wow, genius, Chris. It's a really simple statement, but if you think about it, it's like, anyone that knows me knows I'm focused on one of three things at any given point: building a lifelong marriage, world impacting family, and a nine
Mhm.
figure tech company.
Yeah.
And I can't build a marriage by myself. And I view building, just a healthy relationship,
Yep.
in my case, marriage, as a thing that is greater than myself.
Yep.
I view building a family, contributing members of society that strong character, self-esteem, confidence, that are creatively thinking and serving other people. My kids, my family, part of our family mission. Yes, we have a family mission, and
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot of
Yeah.
good family stuff that I've been learning from other like fun entrepreneurial parents as well. But
Mm-hmm.
in implementing, I can't be the only person. If I don't have kids, I don't have a family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in our dynamic.
Yeah.
And I can't build a 9-figure tech company with one employee being me. Like there's so
Yeah.
many parts of business I'm just not that good at.
Yeah.
Like that would be, I mean, I'll break by myself at, way smaller amounts, than that. The point is to accomplish something greater than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It truly does take more than yourself. And I also think there's this element of grace,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just my own will, strength, or the combined effort of people, but there's kind of like this greater sense of grace that guides and pulls things together, which is
Yeah.
above all of us.
Right.
And you combine all these elements, and it leads to much more adventurous and fulfilling life. And anyone listening to this,
Mm-hmm.
it's really tempting to say, well, it's too much work. I could just make more money and not grow a team
Mm-hmm.
and stay stuck with where you're at. And it's okay
Mm-hmm.
if you're happy there, that's fine. That's a different conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
if you feel stuck and you're not going to the next level, the next place that you really see for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that is, insert the hero's journey, insert the path of leadership,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, to accomplish something great myself, it takes more than myself. You can go, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we got to go together.
Mm-hmm.
How do we play together? How do we go far
Yeah.
together?
Yeah. No, it's a really good point too. So you guys are getting a nice little look at the community that Chris is building with Sean and Bruno. Yes, Sean.
Yes.
Okay. I was
Yes.
like, I'm
And the
pretty
whole
sure it's Sean.
team.
Yeah, the whole team. And yeah, so you guys have a great team because I've gotten to meet a couple of them already. And wow, just the onboarding process is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Just kudos to you guys because it was really easy and it was fun. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about them. Like it's like nothing I've ever experienced with an onboarding process. So,
Well,
um,
thank you.
no, it really is. It was really the best onboarding process I've ever experienced. So that was really great. So you guys are hearing that these guys are shortening the sales pipeline by um, helping you create solutions and using the DMs, and it does work really, really well. And it is a gift when everybody else is spamming in the DMs because you coming in and just being yourself and just being a communicator, it works. I can definitely say it works, guys. Trust me, every single time it works. So you've got a really cool behind the scenes for the VIPs. You guys in general admission, you really don't want to miss out on this. So you guys can go and upgrade and you can get the recording of this if you would like to. You have all week to do that, but you don't want to miss this. We're just going to pause for a second. VIPs, you are going to get to watch the next piece, which is really good. And then everybody gets a gift afterwards because Chris is super nice and he gave everybody gifts. So VIPs, you get two, and generally you get one.
Yes. Yes, there's like I am here to serve. I have a marriage and a family and building a business, and I would not be here connecting, with you, Danielle, and everyone listening, watching,
Mhm.
if it wasn't for the support of other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times in my journey where I was like, there's no way I make it through this,
Yeah.
and my body's falling apart. Businesses get shut down.
Mhm.
That goes down a whole nother. We have to do another podcast for the whole,
We'll
when
do a
Chris got
podcast.
destroyed,
It's a
you
good
know,
story too.
um, and so, yeah, I'm definitely not Superman over here. My point being is I want people to win. My big ask, I want to give stuff away for free. Like I don't have to hold anything back. I just help people talk to more people. So
Mhm.
for like general admission, we call it the hook starters.
Mhm.
We're sharing our why you, why me, why this, why now framework
Mhm.
of how we craft, one initial message. In fact, there's 13 different categories. Sean did an excellent job putting this together,
Mm-hmm.
putting together some of these formats. He has sold over $130 million worth of product and service in his 20
Yeah.
plus year career so far. He's a really great guy to listen to.
Yeah.
And so credit to him on this guide for you. And so it
Mm-hmm.
brings you into different niches.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how we would apply that in different niches. So that'll be, you can read that and then take one of them or modify it a little bit and apply it, and then just start sending messages for free. The
Mm-hmm.
point is going to, like, how many people did you talk to today? Did you talk to 2 new people today, 5 new people today?
Oh
Shoot,
gosh,
if that's the case,
one.
shoot for 10,
Yeah.
shoot for 20, just do 5 extra one. Use some of this framework and you're going to start getting
Yeah.
responses. You can do this in less than 20 minutes. I want you to be able to get closer to result with
Mm-hmm.
minimal effort. And that's what's for you. And then general admission VP, what you're going to see in the next section is,
Mm-hmm.
as you start getting response, the money is in the follow. And we have a
Yes.
20 plus touch point system where
Mm-hmm.
you can, that's where all the magic is. That's where the
Mm-hmm.
conversion happens. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you're ready for that next level, that's, you want to upgrade. And just like, we use FlowChat
Mm-hmm.
to sell FlowChat. And
Yep.
you mentioned, in April, it took us about 14 months, but once 14 months in, completely
Yep.
organic, no paid ads, no
Yep.
challenges, summits, webinars, none of that.
Yep.
Just outreach and DM. We sold over $1 million worth of FlowChat license, no
Wow.
special secret high ticket stuff on the back end, just software, booking demos, one-on-one demos, selling the thing. It was
Mm-hmm.
so if you want 7 figures in DMs, this is the 20 plus touch point system for the VIP section.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm biased, but highly recommend taking Danielle up on her because it's normally not free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say it's
So
worth
this
like
is
over
probably a good
25,
deal.
like over 25K, right? For the sales process tracker, or is
This
that
is, yeah, it's what we went through in our high ticket mastermind once upon a
wow.
time. And so,
Wow.
Danielle has done a great job of befriending and nurturing us and saying she loves you guys quite a bit. So I would take her up on it.
Yeah, you guys need it. So I have a way of getting you guys to spill, not just some of the things you don't tell everybody, but also to spill some of your freebies.
It's the goal.
It's all for the bigger impact that we create as entrepreneurs. So that's definitely why I'm here. I'm definitely here to create an impact, to create a big ripple. And so it starts from the top. So we always need to go to where people are having so much success and they figured it out. And of course, I love hanging out with problem solvers. That's just my thing. I like to solve problems. And so we get to put our heads all together and we get to figure it out
Go
together. And
faster.
so we get to go faster. Believe it or not, we go faster. Even if we clunk our heads together for, once or twice, we're like, oh, it's not going to work. But it's still
That's part of
always
building.
it's part of building. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. We're a bunch of builders. So Chris, that was so awesome. Like I so enjoy you. Like I know we probably went over, but you guys, it's okay because you're gonna really, really enjoy it all the time. They're gonna watch it again. They're like gonna be scribbling notes on, oh my gosh, she's so right. I can make $1 million business and I can do it in a year if I just do this process and follow this
Focus.
tracker. Yes, focus.
Yep.
Yes, there's a couple of other key pieces, but just know that it's absolutely possible for everybody. Follow Chris's steps. I hope you guys took some really good notes. If you didn't get VIP, just so you can get a behind the scenes look at FlowChat and how he's solving these problems and also get that sales process tracker. So go grab it. And thank you again, Chris. We really appreciate you.
You're awesome, Danielle. I appreciate you everyone listening, watching. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye for now. All right, everyone. So you guys just experienced Chris Baden from FlowChat, and I'm so glad you joined us. I hope you loved the conversation, and this was very much a conversational type interview, which are personally my favorites. It did go a little bit longer. We will chunk it up and micro it as much as possible, but here's what you get to do now. So here is your to-do list. You guys get to go and grab his gift. So whether you're VIP or general admission, you both get the hook starter, which is valued at $5,000, right? So he is giving you guys an amazing gift. And that is the hook starter. So they give you examples of your industry niche and how to start the conversation to book more calls. So that you can download that. It's an amazing Google document. And you will see that below this interview. For our VIPs, you guys get an extra freebie. That is the sales process tracker, which is worth $25,000. This is what people paid to do with Chris and Sean when they joined their mastermind. So this is amazing. It gives you kind of a sneak peek behind the doors of how Sean and Chris how they think about the sales process. And I tell you what, this is how people are getting sales these days. So here's your action steps. Whether you're general admission or you're VIP, go ahead and grab that hook starter. The other thing is if you're VIP, go and grab the hook starter and the sales process tracker and put it to work, guys. Go and implement. You're not going to be sad with the results that you get with implementing these amazing tactics for sales.